Hello, my friends. It's Chris Biffle, Coach B, welcoming you to this live webcast, Monday, September 23rd. If you're here live, go invite your friends on Facebook to join us. We're going to talk about the 5 classroom rules. So as you sign in, tell us what grade you teach and where you're from. You'll meet some other whole brain teachers from across the country. Let me get my screen set up, and we'll be jumping into our program. Moving things around a little bit, tightening them up, getting ready for week 3 of Whole Brain Teaching's Masterclass. And if you've missed weeks 1 and 2, let me show you how to catch up to us. Here's the screen, and here's our website. Right here says for WBT's huge webcast library. Click here. You can see earlier programs in our Master Series where we're really going in depth into whole brain teaching. All right, let's get started. This is program 559, week 3, Whole Brain Teaching Masterclass. We're going to talk about the classroom rules. But first, we're going to zing you with a commercial. Biffy Bluebird says, "Do not eat or sleep until you buy this book at Amazon.com. There's our book. It's where we put all the core information about whole brain teaching. If you get a chance, go to Amazon.com and you can actually take a look at it. They have a feature that allows you to page through it. Who are we? Well, we're Whole Brain Teaching. 100,000 registered members, 4 million views on YouTube, 10 million pages of free materials downloaded. We are one of the world's most popular education websites, and proud of it. Here's 2 of our friends, Biffy Bluebird and Smarty Wonderbeak. What if someone wants a copy of these slides or needs a professional development certificate? Easy breezy, lemon squeezy. Details are at the end of this program. Thank you, my friends. You're welcome, Coach. Anytime, Coach. Well, let's talk about the rookie version of the classroom rules. What are our classroom rules? Here they are. I'm going to show you the gestures in a second. Rule 1, follow directions quickly. Rule 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. Rule 3, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Rule 4, make smart choices. And Rule 5, teacher's favorite, keep your dear teacher happy. And here you see some wonderful multicultural signs for each of the rules. There's Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3. Mix and match them, my friends. Make smart choices. And there is Ms. Maestra, our whole brain teaching guru of gurus. Now, if you wanted those, you could actually go to our little store here at Whole Brain Teaching. Right there. They're a whopping 99 cents a piece, my friends. All right, enough with the commercials. Let's get right to it. Notice how we've broken this down. 5 categories. When you want, you say or do, the students respond, what should happen, and there's a note. So when you want to review the 5 classroom rules, you say Rule 1 and hold up 1 finger. Then Rule 2, hold up 2 fingers. The kids respond, follow directions quickly or raise your hand for permission to speak, and they make the gesture as you say the rule. Use a comic tone in the first week's review the rules 5 times a day. And as promised, my friends, here are the rule gestures. Rule 1, follow directions quickly. Rule 2, raise your hand for permission to speak. And get the hand up much higher than I have it here. Rule 3, raise your hand. I'm going to stand up because Rule 3 is a good one. We've changed it a bit. Here we go. I'm going like this. Rule 3, raise your hand for permission to leave your seat. Ah! So you're cheering because you got out of your seat. Let me go back. Rule 4, make smart choices. And Rule 5, keep your dear teacher happy. Let's go to our live online audience and see who's been using the classroom rules. What grade are you using them in? And how are they working, my friends? Here's our screen. Who's using those rules? Since day 1 in grades 3. Use them in 5th grade, 2nd grade. Oh, we got all kinds of people using them all the time. Now, my friends, if that's going a little fast for you, remember to scroll up and click right here for best viewing. In fact, I'm going to click there and look at what happens. Here's a much bigger screen, and you got more time to read the text. That's pretty cool. Got more time to read the text. And I'm going to turn off my own audio. All right, folks, that's the rookie rules. Rule 5, keep your dear teacher happy. Review those 5 times a day. Doesn't have to take long, but that's the rookie level. Let's go a little bit further with this rookie level. Here's what we call our mastery challenge. Whenever we give you a technique, we give you a challenge so you can evaluate how you're doing. So with mastery, you use mirror words to review the classroom rules 5 times a day for a week. Keep track on a tally sheet. How would you do the rules the first time? Here's a little bit of text. I'll tighten this up for you, my friends. It may be a little bit hard for you to read. I'm going right here, and I'm going right here, and I'm bringing it down. Here's a little script. The teacher says class, the students say yes. The teacher says, I'm now going to teach you the 5 classroom rules. Rule 1 is follow directions quickly, and the teacher makes a gesture. When I say Rule 1, you say follow directions quickly. Pause. Rule 1, and the kids say follow directions quickly. And you say, good, but let's try that again. That's how you get them going. Now I'm going to check with my online audience, and this is a moment of truth. How many of my friends online are using a rule rehearsal every day, 4 or 5 times till it gets really sharp? Who's using that rule rehearsal very frequently? Every day, great. Fantastic. Use your tally sheet, my friends. We learn by practicing. I know that's a weird idea. Let's look a little bit more deeply into the rules. Here's something I haven't talked about in a while. Get buy-in on the rules. Explain why you've chosen them. They'll create a fun, organized classroom. Ask for a show of hands. Raise your hand if you think these would be good rules for us to follow. And no matter what the result is, just say, okay, we're going to go with these. I think they'll be a good idea to start with these rules. We can make changes later if we need to. Now, class is coming off. Why should you get buy-in? So that later in the year, when a child is breaking the rule, you can take them aside and say, listen, remember we voted on these rules? Do you think this is a good rule? Do you understand why we're having this rule? Would you still vote for this rule? Get them to think about the rule. We want to go from rote following of directions to some critical thinking. Why do we have this rule? What do you think about it? They can think of a way to improve it, and you think it's a good idea. Maybe you'd open it up for class discussion. By and large, though, you just want to remind the kids that these are the rules we all kind of agreed to. That's why we go with buy-in. Now, get the rules up, post copies in the front of the room, rehearse them frequently, use different voices, and skip around. Rule 5, Rule 4, Rule 2, Rule 1. Make it fun. Take glasses coming off again. If it's not fun, it's not whole brain teaching. I mean that. If their emotions are not involved, you're not getting to their whole brain. Deep inside the brain's core and the limbic system, that's where the emotions are stewing. They're having fun. They're engaged to the maximum they can be engaged. Be silly when you dare. Anybody notice that when you do the rules with a funny tone of voice, you get more engagement? Go into my online audience and see what they say. NJ teacher says, my kids love the funny tone of voice. Pirate, that's great, pirate voice. Some girls practice during recess. Different hats, Mrs. Neville's. You're a character. Accents, Mrs. Wright K. Great. Question to my online audience, how many people has seen one or more of the master class? I want to know how many ongoing students we've got here tonight. How many people have seen one or more of this so far 3-week master class? Who's been in? Every week. Oh, yeah. Wow. What a crew. Week number 4, you're right, there were 4 weeks. All right, my friends, let's keep going. Now, it's an incredible night when you see Coach take off his glasses 3 times, but here's the 3rd time. Stick with the master class. Don't get impatient. We're going to go slow, but thorough. We've got 11 more weeks. It's going to get us right up to Christmas, and we're practicing one technique a week. So be patient with yourself. And underneath that Christmas tree, you're going to open up a present full of teaching heaven emanations. You're going to give yourself for Christmas. That's a good one. I wish I could remember these good ones, but I can never remember them. Here we go. Back to work. Now let's go up one level to pro classroom rules. When you want to review the 5 classroom rules, select a student to lead the rules. And then the students follow that one student's prompt. Students make the gesture. And this is a great exercise for class clowns or challenging students who flourish in the spotlight. And here's your challenge. Train a minimum of 5 students who will use mirror words to teach the classroom rules 5 times a week. Keep track on a tally sheet. Live studio audience. How many of you are using student leaders already to lead the classroom rules? Remember, that's the pro level. How are we doing? Are we back online? All right. I wasn't keeping my own dear teacher happy there. Thank you, my friends. I'm glad to see I was missed. All right. Yeah, here's what I want to know. Are you using the mastery challenges? Is that working for you? Are you using the tally sheet? Make it a game. Here we are. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready for AllStar already. Now, this is huge. When you want to review the 5 classroom rules, as needed anytime during the day, call out a rule number. Students say rule, and the students make the rule gesture. Note this. Use this whenever students need a quick reminder of a rule, usually rule 1 or 2. This AllStar level is a big change. Let's just go over the 3 kinds of implementation. At the rookie level, you are leading the rules. Move it up when you've got kind of good control of your class and train some kids to lead the rules. Now you're in a couple of weeks or whatever you think is best. Now, whenever you see a rule being broken, you say rule 1 or rule 2 or rule 3. Usually it's going to be rule 2 or rule 3. So you're not in rehearsal now, you're in implementation now. This is why you did the rules in the first place, so that when someone is not going along with the rule, you call out the reminder. Everyone reinforces your system. Let's see what my online audience thinks about. Have any of you used this AllStar level where you call out the rule in the middle of class? Sally C says it makes a huge difference. Conch Girl is using it. Giselle says yes. That's right, Blizzard. Lindsay says yep. All right. I'm feeling like people are kind of at the AllStar level or getting close. Now let me just go over this point a little bit more. Here's your mastery challenge. In between rules practice, when you notice a rule is not being followed, let's focus in on this. You notice a rule is not being followed, call out the rule number, and students should instantly repeat the rule and make the gesture. Use this a minimum of 5 times a day for a week. Keep track on a tally sheet. Because this is new, you have to keep track on a tally sheet. Otherwise, you're going to go back to the old ways. It's true confessions time now, my friends. How many people have been horrified to notice how easy it is for them to go back to teaching as preaching? You know, I'm up here preaching, and I'm a preaching and a preaching and a preaching. How many people are horrified to see how easy it is for them to go back to the old way and become a talkaholic? Anybody out there horrified? Yeah. You do preach. And here's the deal. Here's the deal. I've mentioned this before, but it's such a radical comment, I'm going to do it again with the glasses off. Teaching is not talking. Teaching is rehearsing. You don't improve kids' social skills or academic skills by telling them what to do and what not to do. And that's basically what we do in the old method. Do this, don't do this. No, we rehearse the right way, and we rehearse the wrong way. So they say, oh, this is the wrong way. No more teacher preacher. Teacher coach is a good model. Coaches rehearse. A good coach has lots of practice repetitions during a practice. All right, charging back in. Important point about the AllStar rules coming up with a bright graphic. Here it is. I know you're loving when I make this screen so nice and tight. When you're using the AllStar classroom rules, you're not rehearsing your rules, you're implementing and reinforcing them. A rule is broken, you call out the rule number and the class backs you up, reciting the rule and the gesture. For example, a student speaks without raising her hand for permission. You call out rule number 2. The class responds, raise your hand for permission to speak. Thus, you have turned a class disruption into a rules fortification. Teacher heaven. Can you dig it? What's teaching heaven? Teaching heaven is when what used to break up instruction reinforces instruction. Kid forgets, they blurt, it's normal, they're kids, and you say rule 2 and say it in a friendly voice, rule 2, raise your hand for permission to speak, don't scold. Scolding doesn't work. If scolding worked, this would be scolding 101. You understand scolding doesn't work? Let's have true confessions again. How many people in our online audience have found, oh, I'm glad these are not real names up here in many cases. Anybody scolded yet this year and discovered it made the situation worse? Come on now, there must be at least one scolder out there. I'll bet there's more than one. Anybody been scolding and discovered, that doesn't work? Doesn't work with your own kids. You're right, Michelle. Conch girl, no more scolding. Gwen, you're wonderful. By scolding, I mean using an unpleasant, angry tone of voice. It is easy. Lynch, if it works at home, you've got to give them a new atmosphere at school. Thank you, Mrs. Nevels. Jay Bro, I'm delighted to hear that you're reforming. You want a true confession from Coach? I mean, you know, I'm asking you guys for true confessions. Who would like to hear Coach say something that was personally embarrassing to Coach, never revealed in public before? I'm sure you do, yeah. Listen, you think you're a scolder? I got so upset at a class. I mean, it was normal for me in the old days to get so upset with a college class. I'd say, you kids, you don't have your homework, get out of here. I'd throw them out of class. Like that was a real punishment. Oh, we're so unhappy to get the day off. You'll notice if you analyze scolding, it's always stupid. But one day I got so upset, I have a big metal table in the front of the room. I flipped it over. I can, you know, that's lawsuit city there. So If you're a scolder, so is Coach. And it's always there. I'll never do that again. I'll tell you why. I'm retired now. All right, my friends, let's get back to tonight's lesson. Here are the rules' strengths. Let's dial it in nice and large. Rules' strengths. Rules 1 to 3 cover the most common specific classroom problems. Rules 4 and 5 are universal. They cover everything that's left. Make smart choices and keep your dear teacher happy. And if you have these rules like be fair, care, and share, that rhymes, but it doesn't cover anything. And PBIS rules can be subsumed under Rule 4. So PBIS is just a way to make smart choices. Here's your tally sheet. Rookie is when you review. Pro is when the students review. AllStar is when you use a rule callout. Here is the overview of the 5 levels that we just covered. Right there for you in case that you want to order the slides. And here is an overview of the 3 mastery challenges. Make it a game. You're more likely to stick to it. And here's my little avatar, Coach B. Practice, my friends, practice. Use the tally sheet system. Perfect 1 strategy per week. And in 13 weeks, when this master class is completed, you'll be breathing the sweet, intoxicating, heart-inflaming air of teacher heaven. But here's JJ Jive. What about the kids who don't go along? What about the kids who don't go along? I'm glad you're online tonight. Huge point coming. Pay attention to this, my friends. We're dialing it in tight. This is an extension of what we said last week. Start by rehearsing classroom rules 5 times a day. As you do, note your leaders and rebels. After each rehearsal, pick 5 to 8 kids as a leadership team, no more than 2 rebels. Stand next to the weakest rebel. Then as you review the rules, have the leadership team follow your lead. Praise any improvement by the leaders and rebels. No place for the rebels to hide. Let's go over that again. Brand new, this is only about 2 weeks old, and we're getting some positive reviews. Everybody asks, what about the kids who don't go along? First of all, if a kid doesn't go along, be patient. They're from another environment. First, you review the rules 5 times a day, and then you say, now let's see how my leaders do. And you look around. You do not say, you're a leader, you're a rebel, you're a leader, you're a rebel. You just pick a group and include just a couple rebels. And you say, now, watch how quickly the leadership team does it. And you know what? They will do it much more quickly. Watch how big their gestures are. And you know what? Their gestures will be bigger. You've put the spotlight on them. The spotlight nourishes their joyful hearts. And you put a rebel in that group. That rebel is much more likely to go along than when she had the whole class to hide within. This is the joy of an online audience. We can find out who's tried the leadership team. How did it work? Let's get reports from our online audience. Mrs. Neville says yes. Leadership team is amazing, says Weldon 621. Kids volunteer. Keep after it, Loftus. The rebels eat up the attention. Fantastic. And you have no more rebels anymore. Very good, my friends. That is fantastic to get that instant feedback. It really helps us as we design this stuff. Let's press forward with our program. Now, this is a little new. With challenging kids, you always need something for your back pocket. Here it is. We chatted a little bit about this last week. Dial it in. After using the leadership team for a while, then ask the team to demonstrate the wrong way of repeating the rules, like too quietly or with little gestures. The only way your rebels can continue their rebellion is to do the rules the right way. You've eliminated the possibility of rebellion when you say do it the wrong way. Can you dig that? You see the logic there? Don't do that right away. Keep it in your back pocket. Say, all right, now, I want my leaders to show us a lack of energy in doing the rules. Your rebel kid now has no rebellion space. A rebel kid is always going to do the opposite of what you want. So you say, all right, show me the wrong way. He's either going to show you the wrong way, and I can't believe it, or they might show you the right way. You're happy either way. There's no rebellion area. Tell me if anybody's tried that. Rehearsing the wrong way. Now, don't use it unless you need it. Keep it in your back pocket. It's a long year. Save it till the spring. Now, Jenny D, don't use it unless you really need it. That's right, Lindsay. You know. Lindsay and Andre know it's a long year. Great. Excellent. All right, my friends. Now, we do have a little special coming up here for you tonight, but here's our review. At the rookie level, you review. At the pro level, students review. At the AllStar, use the rules call out. 5-a-day rehearsals, leadership team, and use the tally sheet. If you want the 5 rules, they're right here in the store. But here's Ms. Linenthal. Hello, Ms. Linenthal. Hiya, Coach. Ms. Linenthal, how's that cold? Oh, a lot better, Coach. Last week I had kind of a croaky voice. Gosh, the rules sound great, but how could I get professional development credit for this broadcast in a copy of these rules? Ms. Linenthal, great question. I thought it was, Coach. Go to wholebrainteaching.com. $5.59 is what you're going to put in, because $5.59 is a code for the program. And before long, sometimes within minutes, you'll get an email with a professional development certificate. And my friends, special tonight, here's the PayPal button. It's right there online. You get a certificate, Whole Brain Teaching Professional Development. Anybody using these broadcasts for professional development? Any district going along and saying, yeah, that's good professional development. Anybody trying it? Great. Escambia County loves it. Now here's a special, I feel like I'm late night TV, but that's still good. If you order the classroom rules, I'm going to give you a bonus download, What's a Verb? A long program that you can show your kid and let me teach your kid about active and passive verbs. No extra cost. Isn't that the magic word in America? Next week, rule number 1, follow directions quickly. So here's the logic. Week 1 was our attention getters. Week 2 was mirrors. Week 3, 5 classroom rules. Now we're going to spend some time on the individual rules on how to really tighten up the implementation. Slow but thorough, dreaming of teaching heaven for Christmas. If you want an on-site conference, Giselle, Lindsay, Andre, they'd be happy to oblige. Giselle, Lindsay, and Andre, put your email addresses up there and tell folks what your region is. I might even come out if you send me an email. Now, here is the goodie. A zingy bonus. Who's up for a zingy bonus? Look at the graphics on this. That's zingy, man. I'm coming over here and really zinging it up. Got a zingy bonus coming up. Not just an extra download, but a new idea. Here's that zingy bonus. It's called the Classiest Solo. Brand new. Just invented it last week and talking about it in detail for the first time tonight. Here's how you do the Class Yes Solo. Rehearse Class Yes until your kids can say it quickly with their hands folded. Then teach the Class Yes Solo. When you call a student's name, they should respond yes and fold her hands. Use this whenever you want one student to stop what she's doing and focus on you. It's so much faster than saying, Tina, stop doing what you're doing and focus on me. All aboard for Teaching Heaven. Let's go over that again. It's a good one. It's new. This does not work unless your kids know to say yes and have their hands folded and looking at you whenever you say class, which means you've rehearsed, till it becomes embedded in the motor cortex up here, motor memory. Then you rehearse. I'm going to call on you, John, and then I'm going to call on you, Sarah. When I say John, you say yes and look at me. When I say Sarah, you say yes and look at me. One word, their name, brings them back. On a 1 to 10 scale, 10 meaning you're almost having a heart attack of joy, how do you like the Class Yes Solo? Whether you've tried it or not, 1 to 10, heart attack of joy to get a kid back quickly focused on you. Give me 1 to 10. What do you say? Oh, yeah. Oh, people love it. Oh, they're loving it all over the place. You're not going for the whole class, you're just going for the one kid. Now, how about who's actually tried the Class Yes Solo? It was just on Facebook last week, and I talked about it a little bit. Who's tried it? You have over 600. Good luck, Beth. All right, practice today, Blizzard. Give it a whirl. Give it a whirl by next week. All right, my dear colleagues. Lindsay Roush will post the Facebook page for all of you. Here's the book one more time in case you forgot what it looks like. And this incredible deal, which we offered last week, and a lot of people took us up on it, we'll send you 10 of the webcasts, which would cost you over 50 smackers, and you get them for $19.99. All you got to do is put $19.99 in the PayPal. And here's the webcast you get. 501 Universal Homework Model, Oral Writing, Super Improvers Wall, Genius Ladder, 5-Step Lesson Template. It doesn't stop there. Prove It, Mind Soccer, Brain Toys 1 and 2, and Super Speed 1000. Yes, my dear friends. $19.99. All right. We finished early tonight. I'll take a few questions. Any questions from my wonderful, lively online audience? The master's program, we are still in negotiation. The earliest that I can conceive of the master's program starting would be January or February of next year. We want to do this right because it's going to affect careers. If you go online, you can find some Australian teachers at wholebrainteaching.com. That could work, Apple Pilot. Class Boom does really help with the folded hands. But again, the key to all this is fun practice. Class is off. Not just practice, but fun practice. If you have fun and practice, you'll get them practicing. So say, what do you do about the kids who don't? Give them more doses of fun practice. You used to be a kid. Remember? You liked fun practice, funny tone of voice. Get your clownish kids to show their skills. Very good, Clonel. Join the book club, says Michelle. Michelle, put a link for the book club. All right, my friends. Next week, in-depth coverage of one of the most important classroom rules. Follow directions quickly, in-depth. We're going to change your kids from slowly following the rules to really following the rules fast. All right, my friends. Huge audience tonight. Let us know where you're from and what grade you teach. Let the locations and the grades pour down the screen, my friends. 183 viewers tonight. That's huge. If you want to meet some other whole brain teachers, stay online. Find people in your area or swap emails. They got this thing where you don't have to live next to somebody else to meet them and talk to them. You want to have a whole brain teaching pen pal? Make it happen right here. The slides tonight are its program. My program number is 559. Now, if you order the slides and they don't come within 24 hours, send me an email. I'll show you where to send me the email at. I'm going to get these to you within 24 hours. Here we go. I'm on Whole Brain Teaching screen. Here's the top. I'm going up here. See where it says contact us? Right there. Send me an email right there if you don't get the slides within 24 hours, and I'll zip them out to you. We have a little bit of problem using PayPal. But so far, it's been okay. All right, my friends. As always, I'm sad to say, we continue to need your prayers for my family. We are in an ongoing difficulty, and we are praying and praying and praying. Please send us your prayers. We do appreciate it. We thank God every night for your prayers for us. So it is Coach B signing off, saying, power to the teachers. See you next week.